As February comes to a close, we're still harvesting crops from our unheated Zone 5 hoop house. Today I'll share some of the harvest from this month, as well as the recipes we made with them. But first, let's take a look back at the February garden. We didn't have much snow in February, but temperatures were fairly typical for this time of year. We had freezing temps most days this month, and a low of 2 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 17 Celsius. We also had very high winds that sent this tree branch through the top of our hoop house. Despite weather that wasn't exactly conducive to growing vegetables, there were clear signs that winter is winding down. One of the great things about February was that February 1st was the first day since November 10th, when we had 10 hours or more of daylight. And now as the month comes to a close, we have 11 hours of daylight per day. This, combined with slowly increasing temperatures, is gradually bringing our plants out of dormancy, and we're seeing new growth again. And a sure sign that spring is on its way is that we're now seeing seedlings emerge for the first time since the fall. You can see the increased growth in our volunteer Claytonia, which is now covering some areas of the winter garden like a carpet. You can see it in the wide assortment of greens growing here under our tree collards. But there's no more promising sign that spring is on its way than the emergence of new seedlings for the first time since autumn. The new growth is especially welcome because after months of frequent harvest with very little new growth, the garden was starting to get pretty picked over. To ensure continued growth, we recently started watering again, which is something we didn't do the past several weeks when crops were dormant and often frozen. With longer daylight hours, increasing temperatures, and regular watering, we're looking forward to more abundant harvests in March and April. Another very promising sign from the February garden was that we didn't lose any crops to the cold. If crops can make it through December, January, and February, there's a very good chance they'll make it through the rest of the winter. Now let's take a look at some of our February harvests and the recipes we made with them. There are links to all of the recipes in the description below. This harvest included Dinosaur Kale, Vates Kale, Perpetual Spinach, Swiss Chard, mustard greens, Dandelion greens, red vein sorrel, Georgia Collards, tree collards, and Endive. We made vegetarian Greek salad by chopping the greens and topping them off with cucumbers, tomatoes, Kalamata olives, vegetarian gyros, feta cheese, and onions, which I forgot to add before taking the picture. We added Greek dressing and served the salad with pita bread. This is one of our favorite salads, and we make it often. The next recipe is a great example of how we make a wide variety of dishes from essentially the same crops. As you can see, this harvest is very similar to the last one. However, we made something completely different. Instead of a salad, we made stir-fried greens with tofu, shiitake mushrooms, and red onions. The dish also included garlic and dried cayenne pepper from the garden, along with soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, orange juice, ginger, toasted sesame oil, and jasmine rice from the store. For the last recipe, I'm using many of the same crops I harvested for the last two, but I'm also harvesting Claytonia and Sunchokes. Our Claytonia is just getting to the point where it's ready to harvest. Its mild flavor and tender texture will be a nice contrast to some of the more tough and bitter greens. Last but not least, I'll harvest Sunchokes. We keep this bed covered with storm windows all winter to keep the soil from freezing so we can harvest Sunchokes all winter long. And here's today's harvest of greens and sunchokes after rinsing all the soil off the sunchokes. I made a simple salad of greens, diced shallots, shaved sunchokes and Parmesan, and our favorite salad dressing. The salad was a big hit with my wife, so we'll likely have it again. I think I'll close now so I can finish this yummy salad from our February garden. If you'd like to try any of the recipes featured in this video, please see the links in the description below. I've also listed there all of the crops that we're currently growing and harvesting in our winter garden. Well, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, remember, you can change the world 1 yard at a time.